Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Alara Canfield Show, the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here. Today, it's me, me being the host and guest. So thank you so much for being here and for taking the time to be here with me today so that I can share with you some of my manifestation secrets that I've used in the past and ongoing to create my amazing life. And, something that just came to me that just, I remembered when I was freshening up my makeup was my sister had said to me, she's the younger sister, she's the cool one, right? The younger one, the cool one. And she had said to me last year or the year before when I had gone back to Canada to visit, she had said, I always thought it would be me that would be living in Europe. I never thought it would be you. Oops. Right? So, being in North America, living in North America, growing up in North America, when you think about Europe, it seems very exotic. It seems very something to do, and it's a different lifestyle, different way of living, different way of being, right? It's, I don't know if it's better or not, but I mean, I do love it. But, I was like kind of a little bit floored when she said that, she's like, she said, I always thought it would be me because she's cool, she's young, she's hip. And I was always the serious one. Right. And so I thought it was interesting, so and people over the years have, said to me, it's like, I can't believe the life you're living. It is so amazing. How did you do it? I just, they're like, I just don't know how you did it. It's amazing, because I do tend to travel a lot. I do live in, Vienna, in a beautiful city. Absolutely love it. I love the energy of it. And it's just gorgeous. And everything is just so close, right? And I get to, work from anywhere. So I'll be honest, when I was in India last year, I could not work from there. I had a hard time. So normally I can work from anywhere, but I did have a hard time working from India last year. So, but anywhere else has not been a problem. So that freedom lifestyle, that laptop lifestyle, right, as they call it, I do have that, and which I really appreciate, right? And it's so much fun for me to be able to live anywhere, work from anywhere. I just have to have internet, right? Good internet. So Caroline is Eagle Song Woman, by the way, in the chat. It shows in your physical changes, your aura, your voice, all of you. Thank you. Yes, I've come a long way, and so I just wanted to share, a few of my stories and some of the techniques and tips and tactics that I used to create this amazing life. It's not just like I said I want it and it happened, right? There were some things that I did, and some were, I mean, it's like, kind of thing. And other ones were like, okay, right? So it just depends, right? But I want you all to start thinking about your life and what you want to create, how you would like to live, where you would like to live, what you would like to have more of, right? So as I'm talking about some of my experiences, I want you to think about yours, what you would like to create. Because when I was, I never thought I'd be living in Europe. Never. That was never on my radar. Never. But I met my husband and I came onto my radar really quick, right? But it was not one of those things. So if I would have said, oh, I've always wanted this since I was little, nope, not once, not ever, right? So it was not there. But when I go back and start thinking about when was it that I actually started to create my life, when I started to manifest what I desired, right? When was that? It was after I turned 40. Because I remember really clearly when I turned 40, I said in my own head, you know what? I'm 40 now. Now I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. And there's the fourth thing, I don't know, right? But I felt like there was some sort of freedom now, that I could be me. And I could do what I want, and my parents couldn't say anything. That was the big thing. I was always the good girl, right? I did everything that my parents and society wanted me to do, And I was always the quiet one. I was always the one that was not seen, not heard, right? Practically didn't exist, right? So when it came time, when I turned 40, it's like, you know what, I'm going to start doing for me now, right? And that's what you have to think about. Your life is about you, unless you're, and even if your kids are young, your life is still about you. You still come first, okay? Everybody else comes second, including your kids. So, for me, even when I met my husband, it's like, I'm first, then my kids, then my husband, then everybody else, right? My parents, siblings, so on and so forth, everybody else, right? And so, a lot of moms, mothers, parents will say, no, their kids come first. All right, cool. If that works for you, great. But what are you teaching your kids? That they don't come first to themselves? Because that's what you're showing and being by putting them first. You're saying, okay, they come first, so I come second. So what are they going to learn? That, when they have kids, their kids come first, they come second. And in what other relationship are they going to do that? Okay, so we're not talking about that today, but still, just I'm planting a seed. Okay. So I started at that point to really look at my life. What do I want, right? What would make me happy? Because I wasn't happy. But everybody thought I was, because I looked happy. I looked like I had everything going for me. I had a good job. I had a big house, a dog, 2 kids, like everything that you would see on the surface, looked great. My husband was good, as well. But I was not happy, right? So I was not really flourishing, prospering, being joyful, right? And even in the marriage, we weren't a good fit, right? But because we had kids and we had, society and the families, and everybody loved my husband, ex-husband, right? It's like, you can't just leave. You can't just give up on that, right? But I did. I ended up getting separated from my ex-husband, and that was a big shock to everybody, right? But again, I'm doing what was right for me. I didn't know about anything else that was going to happen once I separated from my ex-husband. No idea. I didn't know that I was going to meet somebody else. I didn't know that I was going to come to Europe. All I knew was that I need to live for me, and that means I can't be in this relationship anymore because I'm dying on the inside, right? That's all I knew. How I was going to survive, how I was going to pay the bills, how I was going to do anything, I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know. But I just knew that if I wanted to continue to live in this world, I need to get out of that marriage. He wasn't a bad guy, right? And my mother even said to me, why are you doing this? He doesn't beat you. He doesn't drink. He doesn't do drugs. Why? And I said, you know what? There's more to life and more to a marriage than that. Right? So anyways, long story short. And then I wasn't happy in my government job. As some of you know who work in the government or in corporate, sometimes the environment is not always happy, joy. It can be very negative and toxic, right? And I knew I wanted to do something else. I knew I wanted to be of service to people, right? To help people. And I wasn't able to do that there, even though when I talked to, like the chief guy there in the government, the department I worked in, he's like, you are making a difference. Look, by collecting statistics and doing these things and blah, 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 you're helping, so many people in the country and blah. And so I couldn't see it, so I couldn't feel it, right? So I actually orchestrated a layoff was happening. And so I kind of, orchestrated a silver handshake, not gold, silver handshake, right? So I got laid off from the government, but I got a package. But when the first round of layoffs happened, I didn't get cut. And it's like, oh my God, what the heck? It's like, all I wanted was to get laid off because, when you got laid off, you got a package. It's like, how can this be? How can I be exempt from that? I was so upset. Right? I was so upset. Everybody else was like so happy and so relieved. And I swear I was the only one who was like so upset. It's like, I can't believe it. This was going to be my exit. Anyways. So then a year later, I was able to coordinate an exit and get the package and all that wonderful stuff. And at that time, though, I was like so upset. Why is this not happening? It's supposed to be. Even my guides are saying I should be doing something else. But it all worked out, and it worked out magically when it did. So I had kept that in my mind of what I wanted. I wanted this package. I wanted to be able to leave with money, with a package. I wasn't just going to quit, so I was going to get the package and then I was going to leave, on good terms. Right. And then the year after, when it actually happened, it was so magical, the perfect divine timing. Everything happened so smoothly. I couldn't have asked for anything better. It was like, wow. And when I went back and I looked, at if this would have happened the year before, it would have been horrible. I would not have been ready. It would not have been good for the kids. Like, it would have been a terrible time. Right. So even though I wanted it so badly the year before and it didn't happen, when it did happen, it was just beautiful. It was great. Right. And so part of the manifestation is also being in allowance of when it's going to happen, not forcing, pushing, pulling, of having it now, so basically not being in that control freak that I know some of us are, right? I'm a recovering control freak, no question, right? And so being in allowance of whenever it's going to happen and knowing that it's going to happen when it's the best time for you is where you need to be in order to actually manifest what is for your highest good, right? And so I wanted to quickly just talk about that, because a lot of people think that, okay, if I want it now, I should have it now, and why is it not happening now? Like, why is it taking so long? Well, sometimes, it's not the right time. And honestly, sometimes it's not. Okay. So what did I do to actually coordinate and get the package? I worked at it. I did all the paperwork that was involved. I did all the research that I had to do to actually make it happen. And I continued to talk to my guides. I continued to feel in my heart what it would feel like to be living, the life that I want, and to receive this package. I kept feeling that. It's like, yes, I'm going to have that. Yes, I know this is the right thing for me. It feels really good. It feels really expansive. And I know it's going to happen, right? So knowing, believing, not from a place of fear or lack or distrust, but trusting and knowing, right? And, so when it did happen, it was great, but before I even left the government, I had started doing my telesummits, right? So I had, it was already in process, of me doing something different, right? It was already in process, because even months before that, I was getting this inkling. I want to do something else. I don't know what it is, but I want to do something else. And then as I started looking into it, I started, getting emails about telesummits and things like that. And then I trained with Darius, as some of you know, right? And then I launched my own in May of 2013. And so at that time, I was working full-time in the government, full-time on the telesummit, right? Business, and learning everything, because I learn as I go, right? There's only so much you can learn beforehand, but really it's learn as you go, including all the different software, new programs, all the different guests, and I didn't know any of them. I had no list, right? Zero, right? And so coordinating all of that. So I was working 16, 17 hours a day for the first, up until like the end of the summer, right? I was. And sometimes that's what you have to do, is you have to put everything into it, and I said, this is going to be a success no matter what. I'm going to do whatever it takes to be a success. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this telesummit a success. That's what I used to say at the beginning. No matter, and those days when I wanted to throw the computer out the window because Infusionsoft wasn't working, there were many, many days like that where I was wanting to just throw the computer out the window and put my hands up and say, you know what, it's too hard. I can't do it. But then in those moments, like, you know what, no, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to succeed. I'm going to be successful, and it's all going to work out. So some of the things that I used to say all the time from my heart space, from my heart, not from my head, from my heart space, you know what, it'll all work out. if this is what I want, it feels good, it feels expansive, I feel joyful when I think about it, it'll all work out, right? So I used to say that all the time. It'll all work out. My husband, my now husband, laughs or used to laugh at me when I used to say that, because like he didn't know how. He was trying to figure out how is it all going to work out, right? But I said, don't worry about the how. It'll all work out. Focusing on that energy, right? It's about focusing on that energy, focusing on what I wanted, focusing on what I wanted to experience, already experiencing the energy of what I would feel. Okay? Is that making sense so far to you guys? Oh, it's so different when I'm the host and guest at the same time. If you have any questions, you can, type in the chat, or you can raise your hand, or you can just unmute yourself, if you have something going on. Because, I could talk all the time. Oh, and I just wanted to share too, when I started doing my telesummits, I used to be really shy, an introvert, more of those wallflower type of people, right? And so then when I started doing my telesummits, I'm like talking all the time. And so people wouldn't believe me. He's like, what are you talking about? You talk all the time. How could you be an introvert? How can you be a wallflower? How can you be so shy? I used to stutter. I think probably until I was in high school. I don't know, I think, I can't remember now, but I used to stutter, right? So how was I able to host a telesummit when I had these stories still playing, in the background? I used to stutter. I'm so shy. I'm a wallflower. I don't know how to talk to people, right? But I still did it. Hello? 902, did you have a question?
Oh, yes, I have a question. Please, this is Carmen.
Hi, Carmen. How are you?
Well, I listened to you, and my God, you the same. I have the same, not problem, but the same issue, and I don't go further what I want. Does that mean it's because I was a healer, and I do things spiritual, but now I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. It's sad. Does it mean that it's because everybody said that I have talent, I have gift.
Yeah.
But if it's because that I don't believe it, it's because that I don't have any. What I said. I don't have the good
confidence.
Yeah, trusting me or something like that.
Yep. Great question. We'll talk about that during this call too. Okay. So perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to mute you for now, but I will talk about some of this stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So if I can find a way to mute. Hold on 1 second. Mute. All right. So, and that's a great point. Did I have the confidence to do that telesummit? Nope. Did I have the confidence when I left the government that anything was going to happen, anything was going to work out? Nope. But I had the desire. I had the willpower. I had the motivation. And what was my motivation? I have to do it because I have nothing else, right? I have no choice. And Julie, you're going to understand this because we talked about this a little bit last night. I have to do this because I have no other option. So this has to work, right? And so when you say to yourself, this has to work, there's no other option, then that means, it doesn't mean you're closing off any other options. It means you're focusing. You're 100% focusing on something. All your energy is going into it, right? And you're going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. I know that a lot of times, I don't know. So decide. You have to decide for yourself, I'm going to do this. Whether it works or not, there are no guarantees. No guarantees. Nobody knows if the next day, they're going to even still be here on this planet, right? And there's no guarantees. You have to trust in yourself that you're going to do whatever it takes. And there are some days when it's like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to lie here and watch Netflix. right? Because if I got a nasty email from somebody, he's like, I don't want to do anything. And I did get some nasty emails, okay? But, then I was like, you know what? Too bad. I have to do this, right? I need to take care of my kids. I need to put food on the table. I need to pay my mortgage. I have to do this. Okay, so that means hustle. You hustle and you hustle and you hustle until you get to the point where there's a little bit of security and you can relax. Right? And that's for extreme cases, right? Those are for those things where, your livelihood is at stake. You don't want to be out on the street because you have to pay for the bills, you have to take care of the kids, and so on and so forth, right? That's when you really have to put the pedal to the metal, right? I'm really bad with sayings. Put the pedal to the metal, okay, and do it. And when those doubts and fears and things like that come up, let them come up, but don't stay in there. Don't stay in that story for long. I used to, in the past, would stay in the story for like a day or two. Now, not even 10 minutes. I let it come up. I see what's happening, right? Because that's important. You have to see it. You can't just avoid it. See it. It's like, okay, cool. Thank you. I obviously there's some fear here, and you clear that the best you can with whatever tools you have, and then you keep going. A lot of times we stay stuck in the story. We stay stuck in whatever is coming up in the negativity, in the fear, in the anger, the frustration. We stay stuck in it and we don't move forward, right? So what's important is to feel the fear and do it anyways, right? And so maybe it's because I'm a doer and I push that I was able to do all of that for myself. Because, and this is a story some of you are going to hear now, it's like, when I was doing that, I had no support. And I'm serious. I didn't. My husband supported me, absolutely. He was helping me the best he could, absolutely. Nobody else. Nobody understood what I was doing, right? So when I say I didn't have support from my family and friends, I didn't. They didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. So they couldn't support me anyways, right? So I was in it, and I was going to make sure it was a success. So that's the telesummit part, right? And that's about that trust in yourself that you can do it, and then you're going to do it no matter what. So you have to decide, you have to choose for yourself. What am I going to do? So when I started doing my healing stuff, again, it was, I'll try it, see how it goes. What's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen? Somebody could say, you know what, you're full of shit. I want my money back. I had one person do that. So, that's not bad. One person, right? And then when that happens, like, okay, cool, sorry, gave her money back, and then continued. Okay? So don't worry about, yeah, I didn't have confidence, but I still did it. And I'm going to play with it. I'm going to just try it and see what happens. So have that energy of play and just try and see what happens. And if you don't like it, then do something else. Try something else. You don't have to, just because you choose something, you don't have to be stuck in it forever. Right? And yes, we invest a lot of money, energy, focus into different healing modalities, different programs, that we want to do or create. And sometimes it's like, it's not really what I thought. Right? I get that. But you won't know until you try. You won't know until you take that first step. I'm all about steps. Okay, guys, I'm all about steps. And sometimes I make a wrong step. So, it's not always step forward. Sometimes it's a side step, and then it's a back step. And it's like, oh, shit. And then take another step forward and then go again. Okay? But you won't know until you do that. You won't know what's right for you until you do that. You can't just wait for life to happen to you. You have to live life. Okay? How long did it take to shift? How long did it take to shift what? Exactly, Julie. I think I said on one of the calls, it took me a long time to shift one thing for sure. Depends. It depends on how you're working with something, and are you being consistent with it? There's no, time is really arbitrary. Okay? And if you're putting your pressure on that, or putting your energy on that, you're not going to take any action. right? So even as you are shifting, even as you are clearing and healing and so on and so forth, continue to take steps, continue to move forward, continue to live. All right? Hopefully that makes sense. Anybody else have a question coming up at the moment? So, so a lot of times for me, it's shift from misery to prosperous. Oh, it didn't take that long, but there were different aspects of my misery, right? Different pieces, of my misery. The business part didn't take long at all. The personal support part took a long time, feeling supported, right? And then actually recognizing what that is. So it depends. And then some other stuff, took about 20 years, but that doesn't mean I was working on my stuff every day, right? And it's also little pieces at a time that you start to let go of stuff, okay? You don't clear all of it all at once, It's just like a spiral, and you clear some stuff, you feel good, and then comes back a little bit, and you clear that, and it feels good, and it's layers and layers and layers and different awarenesses as you continue to shift. But don't wait for the shift to complete before you take action, before you start moving forward. And prosperity is also a state of mind too, right? So prosperity, you're talking probably money, but it's not just money, right? Being prosperous means, for me anyways, living joyfully, having loving relationships, loving friendships, being kind to yourself, having all, or at the most, all that you desire, right? So I don't want a castle, right? So I don't want a big palace. I'm happy with a 2-bedroom apartment in the city that I have right now. I have a 1-bedroom apartment. Maybe a 2-bedroom would be good, because I'm not into the whole, I don't know, I don't need it. So it just depends on what you want. My kids don't come here very often, so I don't need a separate room for them or anything like that, right? So it just depends on what you need. I had the big house, right? 5 bedrooms, blah, blah, blah. I had all that. Did I need it? No. Was I happy? Nope. Right? So was I feeling prosperous? Nope. Do I feel more prosperous now than I did then? Definitely. Because I have more freedom to experience different things now than I did back then. As you all know, I love going to the ocean. I love going to Italy, especially. I love traveling to other parts of Europe. I'm not doing too much this year, but last year I went to India. I went to Italy. I went to Venice and then the Amalfi Coast. I went to, where else? I went to Rome. I guess Italy's really big on my list. I've been to Copenhagen. I've been to Slovenia, Slovakia, Czechoslovakia, same thing, Czech Republic now, somewhere else, Spain. I mean, did I do that before? Not so much, right? And now I have that freedom to do more and more of that, and I love it because I love to travel, right? So what do you love about your life, and what would you like to experience more of for you, right? And so so that was a little bit about my job, and shifting from the government to, my own business and a successful business. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about, when I met my husband. It was after I separated from my ex-husband, I had written down on a piece of paper. It was just like a scrap piece of paper, and I had written down in red, actually, what I wanted in a relationship, right? And the man that I wanted to meet next. And I didn't say tall, dark, and handsome. I didn't say, what I said, and I don't know what the piece of paper is, but I know I said that he has to love me and respect me and my kids, right? He has to make me laugh, right? So the first 2 things was love me and my kids, respect me and my kids. I said something about he has to cook, because I don't cook. Be on his way to being financially free, because I didn't want to be supporting anybody. And something else, probably, I don't know what else it was, but these were qualities that I wanted, right? Not necessarily he has to work at this and do that. You know, it was nothing like that. And so then I put it aside. I totally forgot about it, right? And then a few years later, after I had met my now husband and I was clearing up my my office in the government, I found the piece of paper. So this would have been September of 2013. And I found that little piece of paper, and everything on that list my husband embodies, right? And so it's not like I read it every day and looked at it every day, but this is what I wanted from my heart, from my soul. I wanted a man who was going to love me for myself and my kids, respect me as I am and my kids and everything else, right? But so those were my two biggest things: love me and my kids, respect me and my kids. So here I'm including my kids, because if he didn't like my kids, I wasn't going to have anything to do with him. Or if he didn't get along with my kids, I wasn't going to have anything to do with him. You know, like, what kind of relationship would that be, right? So, you know, I put what was important for me, and I wrote it down, and then I put it aside, right? I don't know where I put it, but it came from my heart, not from my head. It came from my heart. What do I truly want, right? And I wrote it in red, and I remember reading somewhere that writing it in red makes it even more concrete and more dynamic, I think, you know? And when I met my husband, I just want to tell this little story. I wasn't looking for a guy, right? I wasn't looking for a guy. But at the time, you know, I got this, you know, the whole Google Plus thing was out at that time. It was invitation only. And one of my Facebook friends said she had a access code, you know. So I messaged her, hey, can I get an access code? Because like, oh, I'm curious, what is this? I said, sorry, I don't have any more, you know. So I searched on the internet. I get this hint or this urge or this nudge to look for it, get on there. It's like, okay, you know, I didn't know why. So I was like, okay, I'm being pushed, you know, literally being pushed to search. And so I did. And some guy gave me an access code. I joined, and it's like, okay, now what? So basically I'm talking to the universe saying, okay, now what? Right? And I joined this hangout, which is like this, right? But it was in Google Plus at the time with women, because my friend, you know, on Facebook was having this women's hangout only. And I was like, okay, that's safe. So I joined, you know, met some women, and then I joined another hangout later on with some of these same women, and so on and so forth. And then I ended up a couple of months later in a hangout with a friend of mine. We became friends. There was a bunch of us, I think like 20 or 30 of us that would meet every day. Obviously, I had no life, right? After I separated from my husband, I had no life. So I was just on Google Plus, and then we would get together every evening and just talk about whatever, right? We even had a show called Whatever Wednesday. So we would talk every night, and this one night I joined, and my husband was there. And I said, hi, you know, how are you? And, you know, we didn't really talk too much, but then, you know, after that, he sent me a message, I sent him a message, so on and so forth, right? And so then we connected, and, you know, long story short, we're now married. I live in Europe. He's amazing, the most amazing man ever in the whole world. I swear to God, how did I get so lucky? But, you know, I wasn't necessarily looking for a guy at the time or a partner. But months before that, you know, I had gone to see a movie with my daughter, Nights in Rodanthe, right? With, I forget who the people are. Doesn't matter. You can look it up. And in one of the scenes, you know, the couple, they're on the beach, they're laughing and joyful and loving and so happy, you know, and I got this physical reaction in my heart, you know, and it's like, oh my God, I want that. And it wasn't just, I want that. It's like, that's what's missing in my life. And not only that, it was, you deserve that. And it's like, oh my God, you know, and it was like this physical reaction in my heart. And so that is what had started the ball rolling for me, pushing me to get onto Google Plus, pushing me to go to these hangouts, pushing me to blah, blah, blah. Right. And so it was more of a, push from my guides, right? This was who I was meant to be with, right? Because I said, yes, I want that, because I felt that tug or pressure or pull or whatever it was in my heart. And I said, yes, I want that, and, and I'm so grateful that, like, I don't know why me and my daughter were seeing that movie. It's like a chick flick. She was like 10, or something, and so I don't know why we were even watching that. But anyways, again, that was meant to happen, right? We were guided to do that. So sometimes you are guided, but you have to be willing to be open to receiving guidance, listening to the guidance, following the guidance. Okay, so trusting it, right? So if you get, that's it, Richard Gere and Diane Lane. So if you get a little thing, it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should do this. Do it. See what happens. Okay? There's no guarantees, right? And, my husband is amazing. Oh my God, you all know how much I rave about him. He's great. But we had to do the whole long distance thing for a long time. And that was tough. And when the first, I don't know how many years we did long distance, and all my fears came up. And so I swear to God, this is part of the manifestation. Okay, I swear this is key. All my fears came up. All my doubts came up. Right? Every insecurity came up. Right? About the relationship and about me and everything. Everything came up. And at that time, I had to take a look at it and say, no, I'm not following the fear. I'm following the love. I'm not following the past. I'm moving forward into the future. Right? So every little thing that came up, I had to choose. Go with the past or go with the future. Go with the fear or go with the love. Go with my heart or go with those negative thoughts, those negative feelings, those negative emotions, that past history, those doubts. What are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to go from your heart for the unknown? Or are you going to choose the known that, may not be the best for you, right? So this is about trusting you, choosing for you, choosing love over fear, right? And taking a chance. If you're going to sit by the sidelines, you're not going to get a chance to swing the bat. I know that's probably not a good thingamajiggy analogy or whatever, but it's so true. If you're going to sit by the sidelines, you're not going to get a chance to bat. Somebody should write that down. Right? So life is about living and taking chances. So manifestation, it's about taking chances. You have a desire. The desire comes from your soul. The desire comes from the core of you, the core of your being. And then it's up to you. Are you going to follow that? Or are you going to listen to all the naysayers, listen to everybody else who's saying that's not possible? But when we got married, I planned our wedding within 6 weeks. And at the time, he was in Canada for 30 days. And my dad was like, how can you plan a wedding for 6 weeks when he's only here for 30 days? That makes no sense. And it's like, don't worry, it'll all work out. Right? And I kept saying that, don't worry, it'll all work out. And every time somebody would come back to me with some negativity or something, I would basically just come back to my heart space. Don't worry, it'll all work out. This is what I want. I feel it. I totally feel it. Don't worry, it'll all work out. And I focused on it working out, not on the doubts, not on the fears, not on other people's, perceptions of how it was going to be. Right? And the wedding was like, oh my God, the most amazing wedding. Better than I could have thought even, how it all worked out. It was like amazing. And he ended up staying for 6 months. So from 30 days to 6 months. Okay? Crazy? Right? So yes, it works out. So one of the things I wanted to share was, you can definitely write out what it is that you want, right? But write it out with feeling, lots of feeling. And, if you, let's say you want to, hypothetical situation, okay? Let's say that you want to make $100,000 next year. So between now and next year, you want to be making $100,000. It's possible. It's doable. But let's say right now you're making zero and you want to make $100,000. It's a bit of a stretch. Your mind is going to say, how How am I going to do that? How am I going to figure that out? I don't understand. I have zero. How am I going to go from 0 to 100,000? And how much is 100,000? It's like $8,000 a month. So how are you going to go from 0 to $8,000 a month? So if you're going to write, instead I would say, I am generating, receiving, earning, start with a lower number, $3,000 a month. And then as you start to, get up to that, then you can change it to, oh, okay, so now I'm earning $4,000 a month. And what would it take to earn 5,000? You know what, I wouldn't even ask that question, just say that you are, right? And always keep whatever you're writing, keep it magical. Keep the energy of it alive and vibrant and positive, right? And in the present tense or the past, okay? So that's the key, because there is no future tense. It's only now, right? Because if you're going to say something, I'm going to do this, you're always going to be doing that. Always going to be going to, never actually doing it, never actually having it, never actually achieving it. Okay? If you're going to, the future doesn't exist. Does that make sense? So Lisa says, I say that all the time lately, and things are working out. Awesome. And, and this is another key part of manifestation, is acknowledge when things are working out. Acknowledge when you are receiving things. So be grateful and acknowledge. And if you can acknowledge in writing, awesome. Some people, may not like writing. So, if you can acknowledge by visualizing, right? Awesome. Feeling it in your heart, awesome. Verbalizing, speaking it out loud, right? Awesome. Do all of that. Whatever works for you. Find your groove for what works for you, right? So for me, it's always been about, what feels good in my heart. And I just feel it. And it's like, that's it. That's what I want. That's what I want to experience, right? And knowing it'll all work out. So you have to know that it's possible for you. So if I would have said, what? I don't know, something. Give me a hypothetical, guys. So you have to be, okay, so I'm just going to say it has to be something that you believe, but you can stretch yourself, okay? So at the beginning, if you want to make $100,000 and you're making 0, sure, you can start with 3, because that's a stretch from 0 to 3,000 a month, and then keep going, right? But if you suddenly say, you know what, I'm going to make $10,000 this month. All right, how are you going to do that? Even my mind goes like, all right, awesome. How are you going to do that? What are the steps you're going to take? What's the energy behind that? Is it an energy of lack or an energy of confidence? Right? Is it an energy of desperation or an energy of determination? And look at the energy behind everything that you do. Not just the words you're saying or the words you're writing. Look at the energy behind it. What is the energy behind it? Because you attract what you are, the energy of what you are, not necessarily what you say. Okay? What if I never get clients? Is that the you would like to get clients? You would like to get clients? So Caroline, you can start by saying, I am happily serving 3 satisfied paying clients per month. That was hypothetical, thank you. So you can start by saying, I'm happily serving, if you like the word serving, whatever word you want to use, 3 paying clients per month. 3 is doable. I wouldn't say 20 right off the top if you've never had any clients, right? So start with something that's doable, reachable. You can start with 3 a week if you want even, right? Lisa says, I agree, like little things, and it's like showing yourself, see, you can do it. Yeah, when you can, and it's about you building that manifestation muscle for yourself, right? The more you can do little things, then those little things add up, right? So keep doing it. Say, I don't know how I manifest. I don't know how I manifest $10,000 a month. I only know I do so now and I am fulfilled. So you could write, I manifest $10,000 a month and I'm fulfilled. Okay, does that make sense? You can say that, but you have to feel the energy of it. Do you feel filled, or is that just words? Right? Feel the energy of it always. And, and then, why? Why do you want the $10,000 a month? And if you're going to say it's to pay the bills, that's not a strong enough motive. Right? So what's another quality that you can use? Right? Say, you might say freedom. Right? Freedom's good. Freedom to live, right? Freedom to enjoy your house, your space, your kids, all that kind of stuff, right? But if you just say, oh, I want $10,000 a month so I can pay my bills, there's no joy in that. What's the quality that you're trying to, experience in that? Okay? There's nothing. It's like dead energy, right? So what else? Anybody else have a question coming up? While I think about what else I was going to share. So we talked about writing. We talked about visualizing a little bit. We talked about being in your heart space. And so, the visualizing, if you can, what is visualizing? It's just imagining. Daydreaming is all it is, right? And we can all daydream about what we would like to have as our perfect day, right? So when you're daydreaming or visualizing what you would like to experience, again, it's not about the how, it's about the energy. And it's not even about what, but it's about the energy of what you feel. So maybe it's because I'm a feeling type of person that I always go back to feeling, but the emotion, right? What emotion are you feeling when you're thinking about, receiving $10,000 a month or going to the beach? Or for me, I mean, when I even talk about the Amalfi Coast, you can see how my face just lights up. I just absolutely loved it. I was like, oh my God, I love it here, right? So that energy, it has to be a powerful energy like that to get you motivated to bring it to you, right? And are you, let me ask you a question. Are you bringing it to you, or are you going to it? Are you raising your vibration enough so that you can go to it? Be that energy. When I went to Spain the one time, oh my God, I absolutely loved it. Oh my God. And ever since then, it's like, oh, I want to go back. I haven't had a chance yet, but I was like, oh my God, it was so lovely. I love the ocean and the sun and the sand, and the Mediterranean Sea, right? It was like, it was the sea, not the ocean. I just loved it. That energy. Okay. In school, daydreaming was fun. Yeah, it's still fun. If you can spend 5 minutes daydreaming every day, about what you would like to have as your life, you'll start to have it, because as you're daydreaming, you're generating that energy, right? And then just keep that energy in your heart space. Say, yeah, that's what I want. That's it. I'm just, oh my God. And you're feeling it right in that moment. Okay. So it's not like it's out there. You're actually experiencing it right now when you're daydreaming. We'll probably do a quick process in a second. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything else that was key for today anyways. But yeah. And if you do that every day for 5 minutes, I mean, we all have 5 minutes. Okay, let's be real. If you don't have 5 minutes to spend on creating your life, then we have to talk. We have to talk, because we all have 5 minutes. And so I haven't even talked about, like meditation or anything like that, right? And, maybe I'll talk about that next time. Or connection with spirit, with your guides, call on your higher self. We all have guides and our higher self and source, God, spirit, universe, creator, whatever word you'd like to use, name you'd like to use. Call on them, not to help you with it, but, not to give it to you, right? But to assist you in creating that life. in being, co-creators with you, helpers with you. Okay? So this is not about, handing off your dream to something else outside of you. No, this is getting them to support you while you create your life. Does that make sense? You are responsible for your future and your life, your dream life, your present life, and so on. Does that make sense? So we're not handing off our dreams to somebody else or something else, but we're asking them to contribute to us. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions, comment, feedback? Who am I hearing? Oh, this is Carmen. Carmen, I hear you.
Yes. I'm just wondering if you can guide me and the thing that I thought I have to prepare a bankruptcy. So how can I drive that in a good way, in a good emotions and good things?
Well, I was going to say, we think in society, when we talk about bankruptcy, we think it's a bad thing, that we failed, we did something wrong, right? But what if it's about clearing the slate, clearing the energy for something new to come forward?
Okay.
Right? What if it's not about anything bad, but it's about clearing all that energy and then starting fresh?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a possibility for you?
Yeah, it's a possibility. I have fear that I won't have any credit anymore, and it was going to be not easy.
Yeah, you're right, and you probably won't. I don't know how it works, to be honest, right? But if you talk to bankruptcy people and so on, they can probably guide you on that. But I think, in Canada, it's not the same as it is in other countries. So you will still be able to have a bank account. You probably won't have credit for a few years. I don't think you will. I don't think they'll let you have a credit card or a loan for a few years until you build up your credit again. But I could be totally wrong. I don't know. Okay.
No, because it's on your your file for 7 years.
Yeah. So Caroline said, I've been there, Carmen. You're awesome. 7 years, no credit. I was scared to death and had to declare, but it all worked out.
Okay.
So
thank you so much.
It's not the end of the world, right? And think of it as new beginnings. Okay.
Okay. I hope that we can have some more things like that you do, because it's very, very interesting your story.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carmen. So there was everything, Julie said, everything you've said makes sense. Larry says you're right on. Yes, makes sense. Yes, makes sense. Okay. So I wanted to, not leave you guys hanging in any way without some energy process, because, we do that, a lot, right, in these calls. And Caroline says, stay on track with Alara and you'll keep shining, Carmen. You're so sweet. Absolutely. It's not the end of the world. And, bigger fish than you have declared bankruptcy and survived and gone on to do, great things. Okay. So not to worry. Yeah. It does not define your heart. All right. So before we do the energetic process, because we are going to do an energy process, I don't know what yet, but we'll see what comes through in a second. But I wanted to just quickly tell you about, the group coaching program. What kind of guest speaker would I be if I didn't talk about my package? I know I'm laughing at myself, but it is true, right? Because all my guests have a package that they share. So I'm also sharing my new program. There we go. That's not it. Hold on one second. Let me see right. So I do have a group coaching program starting in the middle of May that I would like to invite you all to, because if there is something that you would like to create if there is some area in your life that you'd like to move forward on, join me, because as you know, I've done this over and over again. I've created my life in such a way that people are still looking at me and saying, how did you do that? Like, what are you doing? Right? And, you know, if you can do that, because people used to tell me, to be honest, when I was younger, you know, they were always like, you can't do anything. You're not capable of anything. In Hindi, it's like, iske bas ka kuch nahi hai. You know, she can't do anything. It's basically what they used to say about me. So like, yay, nice, right? And so now when they see, when they don't understand, I'll be honest, my family does not understand anything that I do, but they see that I'm, you know, doing stuff and I'm successful. I'm in business and I'm living in Europe and traveling, and we have a wonderful, beautiful car, which I absolutely love. I didn't even guys tell you about half the stuff yet. But anyways, but they're like shocked, right? They're shocked because they didn't expect that from me. They didn't expect me to be happy after I separated from my ex-husband, right? They didn't. They thought my kids would be a mess. You know, my kids are like doing awesome, thank God, knock on wood, right? And especially when I moved here, they thought, oh my God, the kids' lives are going to be ruined because now you're the mother and you left them. You know, I had a lot to deal with. But yes, you know, so I've created this program for all of you, any of you who would like to move forward with, you know, even if it's one area of your life that you're still stuck with, that you would like to change and start to create differently. This is for you, you know. So it's a 12-week program, and in the program there's going to be 8 live healing coaching calls with me and 4 live healing calls with 4 of my guests and me that are going to be on working with you guys when you have questions. You know, they'll be doing the healing, clearing, and all that stuff that they do on the regular shows. So I'm excited about that. And in the coaching calls, the healing coaching calls, it's based on your questions, right? It's going to be all based on your questions, because during the week, there'll also be a video that's going to have teaching, coaching, healing, clearing, all that wonderful stuff based on the different areas of our lives, including manifestation, mindset, goals, visioning, some of the beliefs that we are still holding on to, like doubt and fear, anxiety and stress. We're also going to be talking about how to connect with your guides, how to connect with your higher self, how to connect with your knowing, right? Your intuition, tapping into that, and really, you know, feeling all of that for yourself so that you can be empowered to move forward with your life. I mean, I don't want you to just come to me or come to one of my guests all the time. No, you also have the gifts and talents and abilities to handle most of everything yourself, but sometimes we do need support, right? Sometimes we all need support. I mean, I'm included in that. And so, you know, but most of this, a lot of stuff we can do on our own for ourselves. And we should be maintaining our energy. We should be clearing our energy field every day. We should be raising our vibration every day, right? That is a constant thing. It's not just a one-time thing and that's it, you're done. And when it comes to creating your life, it really is about asking yourself, what do I want? What do you want? And not from a mental place, but from your heart. What do you want? What do you want to experience? And this is about qualities. What qualities do you want to experience? And then why? Why do you want to experience that? What do you get from it? Right? And so, you know, we go into a lot of questions, right? So this is definitely a program for you if you're, you know, going to do, you know, whatever it takes. If you're at that point, you're like, you know what, I am done with this and I am moving forward and I'm going to do whatever it takes. So part of that means, you know, when I say in one of my calls, you know, do this 10 minutes a day, that you're going to do that for 10 minutes every day, 5 minutes every day. You're not going to just do it once. You're going to do it consistently moving forward. And we all have 5-10 minutes every day. I'm sorry. We have 5-10 minutes every day for ourselves. That's called self-care, self-nurturing, self-love. We have that for ourselves. And if you don't, like I said, we should talk, right? So please do take a look at the page, alara.at/BVY, and take a look at that and see if any of that makes sense to you, if it resonates with you, if you would like to move forward. There are 3 and 6 month payment plans to make it a little bit easier for you as well. And if you'd like to do VIP coaching with me, you get 3 one-on-one calls per month. And in there, it's all about you and where you're going and how you're going to get there, and also clearing and healing whatever is coming up for you every week, right? And even in the group coaching calls, it's about what's coming up for you. What can we clear so that you can move forward? All right. I'm not going to do all the work. You have to do some stuff too. It's not just about passively listening and passively joining these calls. And, no, this is about you showing up and you being committed to your life. So let me ask you guys, are you committed to your life? How many of you are committed to your life? Write in the chat if you can. Say yes if you're committed to your life. I want to see a lot of yeses. Right? And this is not, I'm not saying anything other than, you should be committed to your life, whether you work with me or work with somebody else. It doesn't matter. But, you should be committed to your life. You should be committed to experiencing joy, experiencing ease, experiencing prosperity, whatever prosperity means for you, right? And when we're talking about what works for you, please don't compare your life to somebody else's. Okay? Just look at what's right for you. Okay? Not anybody else. Because everybody, we all have our own thing, right? So my life is great. I love it. It wouldn't work for my sister. It just wouldn't, or somebody else. But this is what works for me. So what works for you? Ask yourself that question every day. When you're in some situation, ask yourself, does this work for me? Yes or no? And if it doesn't, say, you know what? This does not work for me anymore. No, enough of this, right? And sometimes you have to be strict with yourself, with your mind, with that mental chatter. You have to tell it to stop. So who's the boss? You or that mental chatter? You or those negative beliefs, those patterns? And yes, I know a lot of them are really strong, and a lot of them are subconscious that we don't even are not even aware of. So we will be clearing a lot of those during the calls as well. Okay. So I do know that the subconscious, rules 95%, right? And our conscious mind rules only 5%. I get that. But I also think that when you're coming from your heart space and the core of you and your being, when you're coming from you, that to me overrides everything else. So I'm not talking about the mental. I'm talking about you, your heart, the being of you, the core essence of you. Okay? That overrides everything else. Because that, when you're coming from that beingness, that creator beingness that you are, that infinite being that you are, there's nothing greater. Okay? And know that. So those other things that make you think that you're less than, not good enough, not worthy, oh my God, I've made so many mistakes. No, that's just your mind. That's just old patterns, old beliefs. No. But when you go to your heart space, to that core essence and being of you, that part of you says, I love you. You're worthy. You're loved. You're amazing. You're awesome. You're powerful. You're magnificent. You're brilliant. Okay, listen to that voice. Listen to the voice that says, I love you, no matter what. Okay, don't listen to the other stuff. All right, and okay. Da, 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 da. All right, anybody else? Thank you so much for all you guys who are saying yes and being committed to your life. That is awesome. I love that. Good, good, good. Julie, is that Julie? Are you in your car, Julie? I'm not sure if she can hear me. All right, so Brenda, you've been quiet. Brenda, yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, I actually just been thinking of that. Very, very well, thank you. I have to tell you, I had my grandson listening in, and he was like, this feels really good. This feels really good. Yeah, I actually been really trying to focus on how deep I connect with the feeling and the feeling I want to experience. And
Yeah.
that's why I really, 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 been putting my energy to.
Awesome. Good. And so, did you say yes to being committed to your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. I found out how to type it in.
Awesome. Good. I didn't see all the names yet, but good. And that's the thing. It's like once you say yes, you're committed, things will start to change for you. You will start to get those messages, those nudges, those hints, right? So Betsy said, love you so much, Laura. I lost you for a few minutes. Oh no, Betsy, you probably lost me when I was saying all those wonderful, nice things. Oh my goodness. All right. So if anybody has any questions about the program, feel free to email me. If you haven't booked a session with me yet, take a look at the calendar and book a session with me to talk about your dream life and what you would like to experience moving forward. It doesn't mean that you're going to, automatically be joining me in the program. But this is just, for you sometimes to get clarity on your vision, on your dream life, and what you'd like to do moving forward, okay? And Marlene says, thank you, Laura. I will meet you tomorrow on the call. I'm really excited. Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, yes, we have a call tomorrow with Marlene. Yes, that's right. Awesome. All right, so let's do a quick little healing process. We'll see what comes through. So you'll see that on the calls as well, sometimes the healing processes, well, they're always guided. There are a few that I have that are staple or standard, but even those are always modified based on what's going on with the energy at the time, the people on the call, and so on, whatever's coming through. Okay, so just everyone, we're just going to do a quick little process, okay? When we had a call earlier, and it was quite intense. It was so strong and powerful. I don't think it's going to be that strong this time, but you never know. I think it's be calmer, gentler, nicer. All right, everyone, so just take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Be in your heart space the best you can. And if you have a hard time focusing on your heart space, just put your hand on your chest, okay? Just put your hand on your chest. Okay, so breathe in through your nose to a count of 4. Breathe out to a count of 4. Again, breathe in. And breathe out. One more time, breathe in. And out. Good. So we're just going to take a moment and just call forth unconditional love to yourself from Source, Creator, God, Universe. Just call forth unconditional love. And at the same time, wow, it's already coming back so quickly. At the same time, call back all energy, your own energy that you left behind or given away in all times, spaces, dimensions, and realities through every aspect of you. And allow yourself to receive and just perceive in whatever way works for you, whether you see the energy coming back to you, see yourself receiving the unconditional love, if you feel it, if you see colors, if you're tingling, if you feel heat or coolness, a vortex of energy. Just receive for a moment. Okay, awesome. So let's do the waterfall cleanse. So just imagine that you're standing under a crystal clear rainbow waterfall. The water could be cool or warm, whatever temperature you like. As the water comes down the front and back, left and right side of your body, Just let go of any thoughts, feelings, and emotions from the day, all the mental toxins, emotional toxins, anxieties and stresses, all the doubts and fears. Let them all go into the water to be transmuted and healed. And as this rainbow-filled waterfall, and as the rainbow-filled water droplets go deep into your skin, your energy field and aura, allow the energies, frequencies, and vibrations to go deep into your cells, deep into your tissues, deep into your molecules, particles, and DNA. And these rainbow-filled water droplets have the energy of joy, of lightness, of unconditional love, and allow yourself to be replenished, refilled, re-energized, revitalized. Continue to breathe. Continue to receive. Awesome. So now this rainbow waterfall is being transformed into a rainbow pillar of light and love. So this rainbow pillar of light extends all the way down to the heart chakra of Mother Earth, all the way up to the heart chakra of the great central sun. And this rainbow pillar of light is, it has these energies of iridescence, sparkles and stars and golden light and golden mist. And so as you're descending down to the heart chakra of Mother Earth, just breathe and allow yourself to descend slowly. And as you are, you're also healing, because this is also a healing tube. All right. So allow yourself to receive, again, the healing from this rainbow pillar of light. And as you descend, descend, descend all the way down, down, down to the heart chakra of Mother Earth, take a deep breath. Take a moment and offer your unconditional love, blessings, gratitude, compassion, and forgiveness. Mother Earth and this beautiful planet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now just be in your heart space. Open up your heart space a little bit more and just receive. Be open to receiving the energies, frequencies, and vibrations from Mother Earth of unconditional love, blessings, gratitude, compassion, forgiveness, support, strength, and vitality, healing and wisdom, nurturing and nourishment, resources, abundance and prosperity, whatever else you require. And so for some of you, the energy is going straight up your spine. Just breathe and be present the best you can. And it's like what I'm sensing, it's like, I don't even know what this is, but, you know, like ivy leaves, you know, branches, they go upwards, right? I'm assuming it's ivy, but that's what I'm seeing. It's these leaves going upwards, all the way up, up. Your whole body, your whole back, this green, beautiful energy is going all the way up, nurturing you and healing you and giving you that support and the energy of prosperity and flexibility. And it's like the energies of climbing upwards, meaning you're on the right path, you're going up, you're going up, you're going up. So basically it's part of like raising your vibration, but it's also part of you taking the next step and going forward in your journey, in your path, in your life, in your living. So just take a deep breath. And that ivy branches, whatever is there to like support that. Support your growth, support your support and give you balance. Okay, just take a deep breath, and now let's ascend upwards in that rainbow pillar of light and love, all the way up, up, up to the heart chakra of the great central sun. And continue to receive the healing from this rainbow pillar of light. And as you go upwards, just receive. And as you connect in and tap into the heart chakra of the great central sun, again, take a deep breath and offer your unconditional love, blessings, gratitude, compassion, forgiveness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And be open to receiving. Open up your hearts and receive from Spirit, Source, Creator, God, Universe, the energies, frequencies, and vibrations of unconditional love, blessings, gratitude, grace, compassion and forgiveness, peace, bliss, and oneness, joy and happiness, of connection and support, of healing and well-being, knowing and wisdom, acceptance, allowance, receiving, faith and trust, clarity and ease, of being on purpose, being full of passion and power, abundance and prosperity, and whatever else you require. Good. Come back to your heart space, push down any walls or barriers that may have come up during our conversation today, and expand out. Expand out to be as big as the room that you're in, the city, the state or province, country, continent, and this beautiful planet and beyond. Okay, so now just come to your heart space and be in your heart space for a moment. Be still. Be aware of that presence of you. Presence of spirit. Where two or more are gathered in my name, I am there. Something like that, right? Everything I do is in service to the divine, in service to spirit. Good, so just be in that space for a second. And now I just want you to think of, for a moment, bring to mind, daydream, imagine, vision, your life. Not every aspect, but just pick one thing that you'd like to manifest, one thing that you would like to have different in your life. And see yourself doing it, being it, and experience it with all of your senses. Who are you talking to? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you feeling? And I want to feel with all of your being. Are you feeling joy? Feel joy. Are you feeling excitement? Feel excitement. Are you feeling peace? Feel peace through every cell of your being. Satisfaction. And we're talking about qualities, right? And what quality are you feeling? What quality are you experiencing in this moment? ease. Hold on to that vision. Stay in your heart. And just receive some higher dimensional healing energies, frequencies, and vibrations from me and my team, from the ninth dimension and beyond, from source, to energize that vision. Amplify that quality that you like to experience, that you are experiencing in this moment. Stay in your heart. Stay with the feeling. Breathe. And now I want you to expand that feeling out. Make that feeling, that quality, that dream, that vision as big as this planet and beyond. Good. Keep breathing for another minute. Good. Now just bring all of your energy, attention, focus all the way back into your heart for a second. Breathe in deeply. And then come back, or bring all that energy, attention, focus all the way down to the heart chakra of Mother Earth. And if you don't know how, it's okay. Just have the intention. Me and my team will assist you in grounding you and connecting you into Mother Earth. Good. Breathe in deeply. Again, say thank you, thank you, thank you. Come back up to your heart space. Be in your body. Be in your space. Be in your room. Maybe be in your seat. Start to wiggle your toes and fingers. Open your eyes when you're ready. All right, how's everyone doing? A little short and sweet. So Marlene says, Alara, beautiful energy flowing here. Big hugs, group hug. Thank you, Marlene. Oh, Lisa says, I love this process. It's really beautiful and I feel full of joy and love. Awesome. Good. Lots of violet, like your picture. Awesome, good. Thank you, Caroline. Brenda, how are you doing?
Sorry, I was getting ready to type.
All right.
I'm actually doing very good. I saw a lot of colors and just real uplifting, like being held, like really, and yeah, like the bosom, like just being really eloped in warmth and love. It's good.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. So, and so were you able to tap into your vision and have that be different? Like not different per se, but energetically be different? Larry says connecting to joy daily is essential. Absolutely. Yes, thank you. Betsy says beautiful energy. Jennifer said lots of peace, love, joy, and gratitude. Thank you. Awesome. Good. Thank you, Jennifer. Because, what I wanted for all of you is to just amplify that vision that you have, energize it even more, make it like more sparkling, more dynamic and alive for you. Does that make sense? So you can really tap into it even more and really feel into it even more. So it's not just a concept, but it's real and like almost like tangible, Yeah, awesome. Good. Awesome. So again, that's just a short process that we did. We didn't even do the full process that we normally do on our regular calls and stuff, but just a short process just to get you to be in this expansive state, to feel that joy, right? And that love, and be supported, and know that you are supported always, okay? And so if anybody has any questions about the program, be sure to just send me an email or book a session. Lisa said, beautiful call all around. Thank you for sharing your story and beautiful energy. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and so I hope to see some of you in the group program or the VIP program, whatever works for you. It's awesome. I'm really excited about it, and I'm so excited to share some more processes, more techniques. I mean, we just touched on a few little things here today, but more so that you can have the life that you desire, right? Or an aspect of it, whatever, even if you're good in like lots of different areas, but one thing is just getting you down, well, we can work on that one thing, okay? So I know it's totally doable for all of you. It's possible, and you're worth it, right? And not just that you're worth it, but you deserve to be happy. I mean, Source, Spirit, Creator, God, Universe does not want any of you to be suffering or be unhappy or feeling lack and scarcity, right? You're supposed to be prosperous and abundant and enjoying life, feeling joy on a regular basis, that is what I think Source wants for all of us. We are like children to Source, right? And so I'm a mom, and so all I want is my kids to be happy. All I want is my kids to be successful. All I want is my kids to be prosperous, right? And enjoying life, and having wonderful experiences, enjoying life. And sometimes when they have experiences that are not so great, they get through them quickly and they learn from them, and they're able to tap into more of who they truly are, right? Instead of all the conditioning that we have, picked up, right? So a lot of it has to do with unlearning, right? Oh, Renetta, I was wondering about you. Good. Thank you. I'm glad you made it to the call. There you are. Awesome. All right, everyone. So thank you. I will be sending out the replay shortly. And Jennifer, I will be talking to you in a little bit, right? All right, everyone. So thank you. And until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always. Bye for now.